Hey guys, what's going on and welcome back to York City, where you join us at the start of March in front of a Northampton match, as promised. And that does mean I've got an awful lot of games to run you through very, very quickly, so I'll try not to faff around too much. We start with the loss to Grimsby. Yeah, don't know what happened here, to be honest. Statistically, fairly even game, but we did concede 3 and we scored none, so that's a little bit annoying. 3-0. There was a penalty involved. We missed a penalty, they scored a penalty. That changed the entire complexion of the game. Lopez's season has been utterly ruined by penalties. He had one at the very beginning, which he missed, and then ruined his confidence then. Just put him back in the team just because there's a lot of games coming around. So just, switching and changing the team little bits, just to make sure everyone's nice and fresh. Gets another penalty, misses again, confidence is ruined once more. It's so annoying. Now we've edged past Halifax in the EFL Trophy. Fine, 2-1. Nothing really much to say about that one. Port Vale, 3-1. A little bit more comfortable. 3-1. They got a consolation goal, but we did utterly dominate them. Really possibly should have been more than 3 in that one in the end, but we'll take a 3-1 nonetheless. Rochdale 3-0. I'm not going to lie. The latter of Lee Towell's goals was an absolutely ridiculous one. He tackled the ball 3 times before it went into the net. His first goal, though, won the goal. You may notice his name in the goal list quite a lot. He has won Player of the Month, understandably. Lee Towell since January. Sensational form. I think he's up to 12 goals now, I think it is, for the season. I think when January rolled around, he was on about 2 or 3, so he's on the verge of the Player of the Game records and the assist record, which is incredible, really. Dan Morgan with 2, Lee Towell with another one in a 3-0 win at Newport. That's a pretty big one. This one actually kind of the one that balances out the Grimsby match. It was a fairly even game statistically. When this one, we scored 3 and they scored none. So we'll take it. It balances things out, I guess. We edged past Man United under-23s again. Second time we played them. This time they didn't have Chong on their team, so I think it got us a little bit easier. They still have Arnaud Puimel, I'm not sure I'm supposed to pronounce that, who is apparently actually interested in a loan with us, but of course we're outside the window now, so we can't do anything about that. But Summer, maybe, there's an option, he's pretty good. And then Salford, we just returned to not being able to beat, so there we are, 1-0, dull. Book ended with losses, but wins all the way through in between, 5 of those, which does leave the complexion of League 2 looking like this. We still have a game in hand, which is this Northampton game. We stand 5 points clear with this game in hand, so no matter what happens today, we're still 5 points clear regardless. So, and we are at home to Northampton, who are mid-table at this point, but not too far off those promotion places. Now, if they win here, then they will go just shy of the playoff, but not in it. So, everything to play for them still. Slightly less for us to deal with, but I would like an 8-point buffer. That would be nicer than a 5-point buffer. Just gives us a little bit more wiggle room. Of course, if we pick up a draw at any point and make it a 6-point gap, we do have a far superior goal difference to anyone who wishes to catch up with us. So that's great. Dan Morgan still 6 goals clear in the League 2 list. He has 29 in total for the season, and of course all 3 average ratings. And as I said, Lee Towell on 10 assists. Quite a lot on 10 assists though. And player matches topping that one as well. No longer have a player on the top of the yellow cards list, which I like. Now, eagle-eyed viewers may notice as I was flicking through those, I have finally renamed DK on here just to make things a little bit easier. I did say it would happen, and now it has. There we are. Anyway, Ebersbach's back. I didn't really think that sent us through before I said it. He hasn't grown in that position yet, which is a little bit annoying, but DK has grown in his position. Just happened overnight at one point. At one point, he was just still the useful to slight orange sliver, and then next day, full green. No idea when it happened, it's just happened. So that's good, at the very least. We can have Xiaonan back in the team for this particular one. In fact, we will, because I can see Feistam and they're both a bit tired. That's not good. Right back seems to be weirdly more deteriorative. That's not a word. You know what I'm going for, though. The right back seems to get far more tired than left back as games go on. So we'll put Xiaonan in at right back again. He's still developing his complete wing back. He's played a few games since. He's been brilliant. So, I mean, 7.29 for the season, 7.54 over the last 5. Clark, since he's returned from injury, hasn't been as good as he was before his injury, which is slightly concerning. But the advantage of Xiaonan, of course, is I can flip him over to the other side and bring a right back on if I want, or I can keep him on that side and bring on left back option, which I probably should have on the bench. Actually, it doesn't matter because I can just switch him over regardless if I want a new left back. It'll have to do, I think, because we've got more right backs available to us. I guess we've got players on the pitch who can do right back rather than left back. We don't really have a good backup left back at this point. Sorry to all the left backs we do have. So the team is as follows. Smith in goal, Feistam, Romano, Tavares. Manquar's still not quite back. Yeah, he's just returning to fitness. 45 minutes is useless to a central defender because you don't really bring those on halfway through a match. So yes, Romano, Tavares, Shaw on the right, Smallwood, Dean suspended. He picked up 10 yellow cards recently. Nissel and DK in the middle. Evers back on the left. Litau on the right. Morgan up front. It's pretty much as you'd expect. Now, apart from those losses, of course, we've had a very, very good run of games. Just still can't really... I mean, I know we got past Bristol Rovers and Salford earlier in the season quite handily, actually. It's a little bit annoying that we've returned back to form in the fact that we've lost to both of them on the second fixture of this year. And Smallwood's already picked up a booking. Oh, by the way, I don't know what it is about Smallwood, but he's just so prone to giving away penalties. The one that Grimsby scored, yeah, that was given away by him. We've seen it far too often. I don't like it. Litau scored. I've just been talking over this as if it's not been happening. I noticed he scored. Smallwood's whipped this one in, and Litau, with his 13th goal of the season, we can't stop him now, which I don't really want to, if I'm honest. Phillips, though. Maddox. McWilliams. They must have more than one McWilliams in their team, because I certainly don't have one. I don't know why he's being first initialed. Jackson on this side whips that one in. Feistan was there, just heads it straight. Well, say heads it straight to Walker. I'm not entirely certain if he got much contact. Did I just see someone's picked up an injury? I've not had a flash on it yet, but I'm pretty certain Dan Morgan there might be injured, which isn't good news. Yeah, he is. That's not brilliant. I mean, he might still score. Yeah, okay. That was a tighter angle than he probably should have gotten away with. What? How has he managed this? I mean, injured or not injured, Dan Morgan is unstoppable. Dan Morgan goes past... Just... He's playing by himself at this point of the season, I think. 1 minute between those two goals. It didn't feel like it. Wait, have they loaned Ethan Walker, who we once had once upon a time? Litau, Chargers, Litau, or maybe they just have him naturally at this point. Corner resulting. Nissel won't play that one in. We'll do it short. And, well, that's a trip. And probably... Yeah, that is our Ethan Walker. Oh, yeah, he was at Preston. That's where he was. But he's still on loan. He's still at Preston. He's not looking too bad, actually. For some reason, need to rescout him despite the fact we actually had him, admittedly, quite a long while ago now. Well, welcome back, Ethan. That's a surprise. I wasn't really expecting that. Must have had him earlier in the season, but I must have completely missed that. Chow, though, charging a little bit forward, puts Morgan through. I'm still not taking him off. It's 2-0. I suppose we could get away with it. Nissel, Phillips, Evers backs on the end of that. Oh, not great. Feistan will get this and goes through his feet, thankfully, because we all know what happens when fullbacks head the ball. Litau, still, one day they'll sort out crossing. The inability to beat the first man ever is kind of problematic. Dan Morgan may have suffered pulled knee ligaments, but we should be able to play through it. I don't know about you, but pulled knee ligaments sounds problematic to me. I'm taking him off. I'm not risking making that injury worse than it is. Warren, Bowman on our far side. Jackson, oh, well, they've got one back. That's great. Thanks for that, Dave. Dave to Dave. All right, what happens here? Just passes it back, whips it in. No questions asked. Ah, number 5 missed a header. That's probably Tavares, isn't it? Number 5. Yep. Yeah, that's nice and easy. He's onside, obviously. Jumper reached 12, heading 13. Okay, then. Both above average and good for this level of football. Not good enough to get the ball, though. Guard against complacency, and I will back it up with some faith because I feel like they kind of need it. Let's get this third one and this win. Because now everyone's nice and sorted on 36 games. This would put us 8 points clear, and everything's nice and easy to pay attention to the rest of the season. Now, there is one game that got pushed around, but I think it got pushed earlier by the EFL final, which I didn't really talk about. That's at the end of March. That will be one of the upcoming games in this week, obviously. It's against Arsenal's under-23s. It's a bit annoying that it's an under-23s game, under-23s in the final. Could have been Portsmouth, but they lost. So, part of the reason why I didn't bother really bringing the Man United one is because of the under-23s. Is Litau about to score again? No. Yeah, because we'd already played Man United under-23s in our group, and it's an under-23s. I kind of felt like there was not really much need to bring you back for that one. I just didn't really fancy it, if I'm honest. When I could have brought you, obviously, 2 new teams for this particular season. We're picking up a lot of yellow cards in this match. Nissel, Tavares isn't there. Romano sort of is. DK can put this back in. No, it's out for another corner, and we probably won't see much more from this. I'm just going to hold off a little bit longer, just because obviously we made a slightly earlier change in this one. There we are. Right, so basically the entire midfield booked, but Suarez is the only one who kind of really steps in quite easily. I mean, Illich I can bring on fairly easily. But I think I'll take off Ebersbach, just because he's not having the greatest of games, and just get someone who is more natural in that position, even if he is very inconsistent. Weirdly, though, first time I didn't play him, match afterwards he scored. So, anyway, Maddox, McWilliams. I worked out that riddle yet. I haven't been paying attention to their team sheet. Oh, for God's sake. Eventually, don't get complacent will actually make them not complacent. But every bloody time I use that, they equalise. Oh, he's tackled it in, folks. Pump the air, yeah, as if you bloody intended that and knew that was going to come to a tackle. Got aggressive with them afterwards because I'm fed up of this happening. Still, 6 points clear. As I said, oh, there's the draw. 6 points clear, even if we lose 2 more than anyone else. 17 goals in it. 3 to 4 weeks, I knew it was going to be bad. So I'm glad I didn't play him on because that could have been horrendous. What? I mean, that's kind of embarrassing for Norwich. By the way, Blackburn finished runners-up of the Carabao Cup. And they're in this round of the FA Cup, I noticed. So they're having a good cup season. So we've got some tired players now. Drop some to the bench. Shaw's going to have to play on, and Romano's probably going to have to play on the sort of higher 80s. But yeah, we can replace few in the midfield. Obviously, Illich steps in for Nissel here. Ebersbach moves over to the right-hand side where he is actually a natural. So that one's fairly easy. And yeah, Shaw shifts to the left, and Clark obviously comes in at right back to deal with Feistamwell's 84%. It's not terrible, but we do have an option there to make that a little bit easier on them whilst maintaining quality in that position, which is the main point. I have got replacements, but nowhere near the same quality. So this will do us for this match. Now, Lopez's last 5 games is, well, it's not good. And his season isn't brilliant either. So come on, Lopez. Admittedly, he has been robbed by missing penalties basically every time he does play. So hopefully he doesn't get one in this match. Still, apparently, a better striker than... Wait, hang on. How's that flipped over? Oh, I think I forgot to mention Okoye in the defensive line. He has stepped in a couple of times during that run of a stupid amount of games in a short amount of time. He did step in a few of those. He had an absolute shocker in one of them and then scored in the next one he played. So very mixed results. You know what? A loss and a draw, I'm going to pull out the media one just to shape them up a little bit. Now, Accrington are 16th. They're not doing brilliantly. One thing I didn't actually double check was how far away we were from 4th, which is 11 points. So that's a lot more comfortable. I feel like promotion at this point would be an absolute bottle job if we managed to mess that one up at this point. Losing the title would be a bottle job, but missing out promotion entirely would be disastrous. Genie, though, charges forward. I kind of like this assist-wise, maybe? No. What's... Oh, he was offside. Yeah, so as I mentioned, last time Genie stepped out for Ebersbach, actually. I think he came in, and it might have been Gonçalves. I can't remember who came into that game. But yeah, immediately afterwards, against Port Vale, he banged in 2. So hopefully, being dropped in the last match might spur him on once more. I mean, he's middling in this team more out of necessity than anything else. But okay, Illich, Ebersbach, Lopez is there. Oh, see, that's the kind of chance I would have been 100% certain he would have scored last year. Shockingly, the resulting corner comes to nothing. He's got a bruised knee and might want to come off. That's great. We're not playing well. It's a fairly even game at this point. Assertively say I'm far from pleased. Should have made this change at half-time. I will bring Lee Tao on for Genie, and then I will swap him over. Because I do want to develop him in that position. For any chance I get, I can do. Like, realistically, nothing about his statistics and his quality of feet should make him bad in that inside forward left. It's like Shao Nan on that right-hand side of the defence. Really, there's nothing that would make him bad in that position. And as he's developed so far, has proven, I'm right in that respect. So hopefully I'm right in this respect as well. Well, they get 2 chances. He gets banged against our defenders twice. They've still got the ball. He's in all the space over there. Doesn't get it. Watson's on this side. Well, of course. I'm fed up of seeing that goal. Just their left back smashing it in from outside the box. I'm not sure if that's a weird... It happens far too often. And I'm not sure what to do about it because... What do? Do you just tell them to mark him? Or is it just something that's happening far too often statistically? Like, I'm not calling foul on any kind of match-ending nonsense here, but it does seem weirdly coincidental happening too much. Shaw's tired, unsurprisingly, so I'm going to bring Feistamwell on, even though Clark really should be the one coming off at this point. DK's not doing too particularly well either, but we've already made one change, so I'm not going to push him out too early in this match. Now, the only consolation here is happening, by the way, now. The only consolation here is that it does look like Coventry aren't winning either. Admittedly, they're not losing, but they're also not winning. Oh, now they're losing, by the looks of things. I left that shout far too late. Yeah, we've just seen absolutely nothing from this team right there. I apologise for that one. I'm apologising to you for that one. I think there's actually enough gap in between. They can turn up for the... Yeah. Finally, there's a gap between matches, so yes, you are turning up for training tomorrow. Well, yeah, I'm apologising to you, to the viewers, that one, because you saw literally nothing from our team in that match. So, I mean, again, well, actually, no, there's some big away wins there. I thought I was about to say it's a bit of a dull game all round, dull day all round again, but no, some important matches here. What happened with Coventry, by the way? Oh, they lost to Northampton. So we're still 6 points clear. We've gotten away with that one. I remember, did we make a meal of Accrington last time round? 1-0 away. Yeah, it wasn't the best performance. We missed a penalty. Oh, yeah, the Wham Stadium. How can I forget the Wham Stadium? 6 points clear. All these games to go. I'd like to feel more confident, but I don't. So, I already know, by the way, what matches we're going to be bringing you for the rest of this week as a whole. I worked it out earlier. Bromley and Coventry, because Coventry, of course, up there with us. Arsenal under 23s we'll do just as a, because it's a final, we'll just do it as a solo episode just by itself. Give it the attention it deserves. And then, depending on where we are at the end of the season, I'll bring you whatever matches where we can win potentially the title or / promotion, depending on how badly we go off the rails here. So, 2 games to play off screen, and then I'll bring you back for Bromley and Coventry next. Until then, ta-ra.